So when people play MMOs and games that have a level cap, there's usually this weird sort of peer pressure, just pressure in general, where people kind of want to rush to get to level 65 because they don't want to miss out on things. They don't want to be left in the dust. And you know, if you're maybe very PvP centric, you don't want to just get pieced up while you're kind of out, you know, just exploring the world if you do have PvP always on. So this video, I kind of wanted to go over what level 65 kind of entails, who it's for, if it's worth rushing or not, to ultimately see if you should rush to 65 yourself. All right, so we are in the game here. We are chilling over in Windsward. It's like one of the one cities that I actually haven't went to. This was a place I used to camp out in my first character, so I've been here so much. But finally back over here. Anyways, obviously I'm level 65. If you've been following me since my last video, or my last couple videos, I am level 5 max level. Don't know. Okay, there. I don't even know how I can show you anymore. Once you do hit level 65, it does not show you your level anymore at the bottom. So it's kind of weird in that aspect. But anyways, I am level 65. I do have all maximum strength right now, a little bit of constitution, and just a little bit of dexterity to be able to get that plus 5% critical hit chance for my current build right now. You know, based on the last character I had maxed out as well as this one's, here's a bit of information I have on reasons why you maybe should rush over to level 65, or maybe you shouldn't and just kind of chill, go at your own pace. Either way, at the end of the day, as like a disclaimer, do whatever you really want, right? It's an MMO, and this is one of the MMOs that truly does allow you to kind of do whatever you want. There's really no restrictions on things you can do. A little asterisk from that statement though, that I'll get into a little bit later in this video, but other than that, you pretty much can do anything in this game. So alright, the first thing, maybe the first reason of why you would want to get to level 65, and I think this comes pretty obvious, but is to, you know, be in PvP. If you really like arena, if you want to feel like you're actually contributing to wars, level 65 is kind of a must. And even though like in arena, they'll scale you up, you know, everybody will have a level 700 gear score, your weapons, you know, still may not have the best abilities, because as you get on to, you know, level 65, you'll start unlocking higher tier weapons, more rare artifacts, and those will have essentially custom rare unique perks that other weapons won't actually have. And sometimes some armor sets even have things where they'll be weightless, so that allows you to be able to run, you know, maybe more heavier pieces with that light piece. So there's a lot of different reasons why you would actually want to, even though your weapons do scale and your weapons and armor do scale with whatever you currently are. So as you see, I have just a couple weapons on me. These are some weapons that I'm currently trying to level up, but we have a almost 700 gear score, and then a couple below that. This one's 687 and 678. So even with the amount of grinding I've done, I still have not hit the 700 gear score weapons, or even the 725. So that's the other caveat. If you do want to play PvP, you can get a 725, which are the highest weapon tier that you can get, the highest gear score items you can get in the game, and you can actually bring those into arena, so they will have some sort of advantage there. With 725, you get usually, you know, somewhere, I think it's about five more points, attribute points, according to whatever the weapon is. So that adds up across your whole armor set. So it is something to definitely keep in mind. Now, if you aren't a PvP type person, that's perfectly fine. You can play this entire game without ever being in PvP, except for this one caveat right here. Now, if you're the type of player that wants to have the absolute best loot in the game, and if you're the type of player that wants to collect all the loot, you want your account to have all the pieces of loot in the game, all the unique items, all that stuff, and you want to be able to store that, well, you're gonna have to unfortunately enter a zone that is PvP whether you want to or not. And that's going to be this bottom area, this bottom left corner of the map. So I did mention this in my last video. There's a lot of good lodging. I was about to say it again. There's a lot of good logging things over. There's a lot of good trees. If you want to level your logging, that's definitely the place. If you need logging resources, definitely go over there. But that whole area is PvP, so you will come across annoying fools that want to piece you up, take your loot, because there's a lot of valuable things you can get there. There's these cursed doubloons, or the doubloons in general, and those doubloons pretty much is a currency, a special currency for that specific area that allows you to unlock new items, and it allows you to buy chests that have rare items. They can have some of the best items in the game. So you will unfortunately have to be level 65. You would have to be strong enough to be able to actually defend yourself over there against not only other players, but you know, the actual mobs and the NPCs themselves, because they hit hard. They're all level 68 for the most part, so that's higher than your level. So you're definitely gonna have a pretty rough time, even if you're at max level. And having the best gear is going to be pretty vital to be in those areas. A lot of them also recommend that you go in there with groups of 2 to 3. Some of it will say like group buy it whenever you enter the area. It will say like group. And sometimes if you aren't in a group, the NPCs will actually have more it's almost artificial inflation, like, of health and damage. And that even goes back a little step further of why you would want to be max level again, is some of these zones in the game. So anywhere that's obviously 65 plus, anywhere that has a 65 plus level tag on there, those areas are going to carry artificial damage and health on some of the enemies and the minions, or whatever you want to call them, if you aren't also the level that corresponds with the zone. And I don't really like that much. I don't think that really adds to anything, but it is something to be aware of, and a lot of people aren't aware of it at all, because you'll go over there and be like, damn, well, I can't even compete because these guys are like damn near one-shotting me. I'm doing like 0 damage. Well, the reason why is because you're probably not level 65 or 60, whatever the corresponding level of the area you're in. That's going to be why. So you would 100% want to be level 65 and need to be 65 if you're going to want to explore, obviously, the entire map. If there's a certain area you want to go to that's, you know, level 60, level 65 capped, then you need to at least be those levels. So that's pretty damn important. And a lot of people don't know about that. Now I wanted to quickly talk about if rushing to level 65 is going to hurt your experience in any type of way. And I think that personally, no, but it also kind of depends on why you're playing the game in the first place. Are you playing the game, you know, for the story? Are you playing the game to follow the lore, to, you know, really experience it? Well, if you're trying to get to level 65 as fast as possible, then you will probably lose a lot of elements of the story, because obviously rushing through it, just clicking through every cutscene, not watching any of the cutscenes, that is definitely going to take you out of the lore. You're going to, for sure, 100% without a doubt, you're going to miss some things. And that could be all right, because you can always make another character. I would say really the only reasons you would really want to rush to level 65 is for all the late game stuff. You really won't be able to do the highest tier expeditions, which also carry, you know, the best weapons in the game, if you're not level 65. You maybe could finesse your way through it if you get some other people to carry, pretty much carry you. But then at the end of the day, some of the weapons that will drop in the higher tier dungeons won't allow you to even use them, because they're going to be level 65. So the only way I would say that you should, you know, want to rush through level 65 is if you really just wanted to, maybe you watched a video on all the in-game stuff in New World, and you really wanted to start doing all that stuff, but you didn't want to like waste your time or whatever. You don't really care about the story that much. The gameplay is enough for you. You like, you know, being able to just passively do stuff. You like fishing, whatever it might be. All these different things. Then yeah, definitely rush to 65 if you don't really care about the story and gameplay is purely enough for you. I think that New World story, you know, it isn't crazy. Like, it isn't anything that I felt like we haven't seen before, right? It's pretty much, to sum it all up, it's the fight between good and evil, and there's always some sort of other median mixed in there, right? I'm not going to get into spoilers if you haven't actually finished the story or finished any of the DLCs or anything like that, but you know, it's not a bad story by any means, but it's something we've heard before to some capacity, and I love it, man. I love the story. I love everything about this game. Amazon definitely did a really good job, you know, not only creating the world and establishing its place in the world, but, you know, also, you know, the story is good. It's definitely, you know, something that isn't an afterthought, I don't think, by any means. So it's 100%, I think, worth definitely, you know, getting into, checking out the story, you know, actually taking the time to watch some of the cutscenes. I think there's a lot of value into it, but if, you know, you're the person that doesn't really care about that and you just like playing the game, then by all means, do you, brother. But obviously, by skipping the, you know, story and rushing through all that, you do lose out on, you know, some, I would say, more genuine hours in the game, right? We're actually following what's going on, things like that. So, all up to you. At the end of the day, getting to level 65 unlocks a lot of the game. This is one of those games that definitely has a lot of content way after you beat the game, which is huge because a lot of games don't have anything. You'll reach the max level and then you'll pretty much be SOL and you're just there freaking just wishing and hoping for more. So I think that this game definitely provides, you know, a lot of that, and there's a ton of legitimate hours spent grinding for really cool things, man. And doing the expeditions is super fun. Just getting a group of people together, just grinding through it. And is this that glitch you are talking about? I think it is. Oh, okay, never mind. False alarm. But anyways, to basically sum it up, because I don't want this video to be crazy long, if you're somebody that really wants to get into the PvC in a new world, you are somebody that wants to start collecting all the best gear in the game, to maybe be able to sell to people or to show off, or, you know, to make videos about and show other people the cool gear that you got, then 1000% you want to rush to 65. Because people are already there now, and you know, you're already like just a little bit late to just a little bit tardy to the party, but definitely get to level 65 as fast as possible, because that is where the best stuff in the game is going to be. If you're somebody that doesn't really care about PvP, you don't really care about, you know, getting any of the best gear in any type of timely manner, you're just, you know, like everybody else, you work a job, or I guess I'll say most people, you work a job, you come home, you want to chill and just play some New World, catch some fish, farm up some stuff, craft some items, then dog, yeah, 100% level 65 is not, you don't need to, man. You know, you don't need to rush through it that hard. There is for sure a lot of content on the other side of that hill, but it's nothing like super crazy, right? There's level 65 is always going to be there. I think the only time crunch that you ever really have is during events, you know, whenever they put out, you know, certain raids or whatever, then you'll only be able to do that raid for a certain amount of time. Well, then yeah, I think you need to get ready and go do that raid. But even then, usually those raids aren't level 65. At least I haven't seen them cap any of them yet. So I could have missed it though. Maybe they do. So if they do cap them at 65, let me know down in the comments. But I'm pretty sure they don't. But other than that, man, yeah, those are really the primary reasons, man, if you really want to rush to get to 65. So I hope this video helped y'all kind of decide. I hope it also kind of relieved some of that peer pressure or residual pressure of seeing everybody else that's level 65, max gear, weapons, and all that stuff. And I hope that if you were on the fence of, you know, thinking whether or not you wanted to rush to level 65, I hope that this video also kind of gave you a little bit of clarity on what you'll eventually be seeing at level 65. A lot of this gear that I have is not even fully 65. Well, this one's 65. Yeah, that's okay. This is 62. There we go. So like even getting level 65 stuff is going to be pretty difficult just because the drop rates are hard. But yeah, that's going to be it for me in this video, guys. If you did enjoy this video, please leave me a like down below. I appreciate all the love very recently on the past 2 videos. Subscriptions also do help out a ton. It lets me know that you'll really enjoy this type of content. And leave me a comment down below with anything that you've learned from getting to 65, or any other questions maybe I didn't answer in this video about what else is there at 65. I know there's a lot of people, I see new people every day in this game, which is pretty awesome, because it's a very fun game, man. I have a really good time every time I get on here, except for when I gotta deal with some trolls. But that just comes with the territory of the game. But anyways, guys, I hope you have a beautiful day or night, whatever time you're watching this video, and I'll see you next time.